while bike racing and athletic events are neat and they get a lot of attention, they just seem to be insignificant in comparison to what everyone's out here for today. And some of the stories that I've heard, and just getting a call from a friend or calling a guy I hadn't talked to in a while. Hey, how things going? How's the family? Oh, it's been a little rough. And I think, maybe you're getting a cold. The kids are getting colds or something. He goes, no, Tyler was diagnosed with leukemia last week, and it's so real for all of us. And these kinds of things are so powerful. And today we're going to ride a long trail, and luckily the trail that we're going to ride today has an end to it. But the other trail that we're on to fight this disease, hopefully it has an end as well. But we're going to just have to keep carrying on. And thankfully the Steamboat community has some amazing trails, and one of the good things about the trail is that we can put some of the things out of our minds that are occupying us maybe. And when we're out there today, we're going to have no choice but to only focus on the rocks and the roots and the hills and the shifting and the braking, and that's a special thing. And sports like mountain biking and cycling give us that kind of diversion. But I'm just once again honored and humbled to be part of this event, and it's a testament to this community when in a single year a first-year event can have the kind of success and raise the kind of funds and rally the kind of support that this event has obviously done. And I just want to thank everybody for all the hard work that they've put in and will continue to put in, and for having me here. It's really special, and I appreciate that. Thanks to everybody. And the volunteers, of course, 125, 150 volunteers. That's fantastic, you guys. And I think we have another special person in the house.
I think talk about Lance, so we're going to go there.
Okay, I was thinking I was going to introduce the governor, but instead I get to introduce a very special individual. There he is. I see him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Lance Armstrong.
We better bring the governor up. This is his place. So, well, thank you all for being here. It's I guess I was sort of a late registrant here, but I'm glad I could make it. I get asked all the time when people knew I was coming. They would always say, "Well, have you ever?" I gotta tell you, this community. You're so proud of this community. Everybody's like, "You ever been to Steamboat?" I go, "No, never been there." And then people tap me on the shoulder and go, "Yeah, you have been there." A long time ago, they had a mountain bike stage race here that I attempted to do. I started one stage and quit a long time ago, and it started in Steamboat, so I have been here. But thanks to the Nagels and thanks to everybody for supporting Livestrong. Obviously, this is near and dear to my heart. Starting back 13 or 14 years ago, we never dreamed that we would have an organization that could touch thousands or millions of lives. But it's happened, and it's happened through a name, it's happened through a color, it's happened through a consistent theme and a consistent connection of this disease, one that has obviously touched my life, so therefore has touched my friends and family's lives. But I think we all share that connection, and interestingly enough, the last couple of years, going around the world racing and talking about cancer, you realize that this disease, it doesn't care if you're from Steamboat or Austin or New York City or San Francisco. Boy, it crosses borders, it crosses language barriers, it crosses income, it crosses everything. It just doesn't discriminate. So we realize that we got a lot to do, and our fight here in Colorado or in Texas is very different than a fight in India or in Mexico. And I think we have to, in many ways, in the United States especially, we may have to readdress how we fight this disease and know that. If I sit here today as a 13-year survivor of testicular cancer, there might be a lady down in Steamboat right now who passes away while we're riding from breast cancer. And people say, why did that happen? Why are you here riding and she didn't make it? Because it's a complicated disease, and they're all very different on a cellular level. They'll all be treated differently. They'll all be cured differently. But we have to address what we call the cancer continuum. And I think the most important key, and we're all exemplifying that today, is prevention. And in many ways, prevention may be the next cure. And so if we can all avoid being put into this position through choices we make, or lifestyle choices, or healthy choices, that'll help. And then beyond that, we have to obviously have the funding. We have to have groups like this that help. We have to have all of these things that we consider in the continuum. So again, this is a reminder of that. And it's just a great honor to be here. It's an honor to, where's my mom? Is my mom here?
She's still sleeping.
She's, all right, well, I'd be in big trouble if I didn't talk about my mom, so she'll be at the finish. And when you see her and meet her, you'll understand why I would be in big trouble if I didn't give her a shout out. Dave, where's Wiens? He's over there warming up. Kicked my butt today, but Dave, thank you for being here. I got to know Dave a couple years ago at Leadville, and really kind of that Leadville race 2 years ago with Dave, and Dave riding away from me out around Turquoise Lake. That started this whole comeback thing, and I'll tell you all a story. I mean, I've never been in a race where you're getting dropped and the guy's like, no, come on, stay with me. I go, Dave, I cannot stay with you anymore. No, come on, stay with me. And I said, no, you're going to have to go by yourself now. And so I rode alone to the finish. But thank you for being here, Dave, and legend right there. So I guess it's up to me to introduce the governor. Yeah? Governor Ritter has gotten to be a great friend of mine, and through obviously the new, what started out as a primitive idea of relaunching an old event here in Colorado. I got to know the governor, went out on a long bike ride. I had this idea that we needed another stage race in America, and logically it should be here in Colorado, almost a rebirth of the Coors Classic. Came home after a couple more long bike rides and said, you know what? Screw it, I'm going to call the governor. That's the only guy I can think of. And so I called Governor Ritter, and not knowing at all that he would have any connection to cycling, he says, well, you know, I actually went to law school at CU, and I would stand on the roadside and watch the pros go by on Morgul Bismarck. And I thought, okay, I've called the right guy. But from that wacky idea to that simple first conversation is now become a reality with the Quiznos Pro Challenge, which will start next August in this good state. So Governor Ritter, thanks for all your help with that. Thanks for being here, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lance.